Welcome, everyone. I want to welcome you all tonight for the grand opening of the Erasmus Recruitment Days 2022. My name is Kirsten Schmid, and I'm the chairman, or maybe I should say chairwoman, of the second Erasmus Recruitment Board this year. Tonight, I'm standing here on behalf of the board to share this moment with you and celebrate the opening of the Erasmus Recruitment Days 2022. We have arranged some incredible speakers for tonight, but before I give the floor to our guests, I first would like to say some words myself, to shine light on the history behind Erasmus recruitment and tell you about the incredible team behind this operation. Because it is not without years of hard work that the Erasmus Recruitment Days have grown into the way we currently know the event. The Erasmus Recruitment Days once started in 1997 as the Rotterdamse Bedrijvendagen and has since then grown into the largest on-campus recruitment event in Europe. A title of which we are very proud. But mostly, we are very proud of what the event has become over the last few years. Not only have we grown tremendously in number of participating companies and students, the event itself has also proven its success by connecting students and companies for over 26 years now. Every year, a group of students commit themselves to organize the event with their own creativity and vision, but never losing sight of the long-term mission, bringing companies and students together and helping students shape their future lives. So, this summer, we started putting our own creativity and vision into practice. By organizing an event of this size, we have also realized that our impact is of great importance. Therefore, this year's edition, we have worked very hard to make the event even more sustainable and responsible. Unfortunately, we are not able to display all the steps we made, as many of them were focused on an offline scenario. But we can guarantee you that this is not the end of our focus on these principles. Additionally, in terms of innovating the event this year, we have extended our company portfolio by adding many new companies in all kinds of sectors. And lastly, we invented a new special day, namely the Women's Day. However, what a turbulent year this has been. Changing from working towards a physical event to having to switch last minute to an online event, which was definitely not the way we imagined it to be. But still, after numerous setbacks and yet another life-altering year of COVID, we were still motivated than ever to make the Erasmus Recruitment Days a success. And it never ceases to amaze me how motivated and happy everyone remained to take on all the responsibilities that our tasks entailed. But it was not just our team that had to face the consequences of COVID. Every aspect of our lives has been affected, from the way we go about our day to how we view the world. So, although we do not yet know when this global crisis will ever come to an end, we do know one thing. The Rotterdam students have shown immense optimism and ambition to thrive, even under these dire circumstances. And it demonstrates that they have the ability to adapt and overcome. Because while the past 2 years of COVID have taken away much of students' college experience, this year's high enrollment shows how forward-looking all of these talented individuals continue to be. Taking all of this into consideration, I can proudly say that this year symbolizes an odd but exciting year full of challenges. A year with the first Women's Day, an extreme focus on implementing sustainability, and another successful edition of the Erasmus Recruitment Days. But most of all, this year symbolizes a close-knit team who had to constantly change its plans, but never lost sight of its goals and vision for the final product. So next, I would like to introduce a speaker who can help with some advice on your future. Therefore, I would like to introduce Mr. Patrick Groene, the Dean of Erasmus School of Economics, who I will now give the word.
Dear participants, first of all, I'm thrilled that this event is taking place. And it is great to see several young people who are at the start of their careers to get together with leading companies where so many careers have been launched. This is a great opportunity both for the companies and our students. And personally, I see this as a testament to how the university and business community can work together. And I'm proud of how our students manage to facilitate this partnership by organizing an excellent event like the Erasmus Recruitment Days. The theme of these days is the perfect way to find your job. And I believe that there are several ways to land in your dream job. And perhaps it's best to start by sharing on how I found mine. Looking back at at the start of my career, I would never have expected to become a dean of this beautiful school. During my studies, I got interested into statistics, and I wanted to know what is in the black box that gives these results that you would obtain, for example, by SPSS, R, or Stata. And I learned how to be able to program these statistical techniques myself, to be able to get exactly the same results as what comes out of this statistical package. And when I succeeded, that gave me a sense of pride. And at that point, I got more and more curious in understanding it. In my case, a decisive moment came when I got the opportunity to work as a research assistant in Leiden, where I studied. I was assigned the task to program 2 new techniques into SPSS, and currently they still are in SPSS. Then I knew I wanted to do more, learn more. I wanted to write a PhD. Working in a research environment of a university was what I wanted. I got a job as a PhD to write my dissertation. I defended it. I stayed in academia and continued to do research in the area of data science. Irrespective of the way you find your job, a key indicator to know you're on the right track is enjoying what you're doing. Chances are you get a good sense of what this is during your studies. The subjects you're most interested in, the assignments that energize you, they will tell you what direction to follow. No matter what direction you choose, stand behind it. That doesn't mean you cannot change track every now and then and explore new interests. But it will give you peace of mind to concentrate on the direction you choose and make that a success. Your first job will be an important part of the track you choose. It gives you the opportunity to put into practice what you've learned and experienced, and what it means to do this on a daily basis. And remember that it will not be set in stone what this job will look like in the next year or so. You will encounter situations you had not envisioned beforehand, but turn out to be opportunities to shape your career in the way you want it. And whatever path you choose, allow yourself to discover what job is the right fit in the long run. Career planning is great, but don't be afraid to grasp the opportunity as it arises. To me, these are the key principles for finding a great job and building a great career. A lot of former students of our school used these fundamentals and went on to become the leaders of impactful companies, authorities in their field, or successful entrepreneurs. And I hope it's now clear what I'm expecting from you in the future. Thank you for your attention. I'm sure you will be having a great event and make a lot of valuable connections leading to your dream job.
Thank you, Patrick, for your inspiring words. Also, I'm very excited to share that our 2 main partners are here with us tonight. The last few months, we've had the honor to collaborate with Deloitte and PwC, and therefore I'm more than happy to give the word to our first speaker from our main partner, Deloitte, Marieke Maas. She's working in the service line of Global Employer Service, part of the tax and legal function, and is also partner within the talent and legal leadership team for the talent portfolio. So welcome, Marieke. I will now give you the word.
Thank you very much, Kirsten, for your kind words. And students, very, very happy to be here, even though I would have loved to see you all in person. I was listening carefully to what your dean was mentioning, and some of what I will tell you today may be a bit contradicting. But I think in the end, it is up to you to make your choices, as I have done in my career. And my career started somewhat different than yours, probably. Today I'm a partner in Deloitte Tax and Legal, as Kirsten mentioned. But I started my career as a typist when I was 19 years old. So to be very honest, this is my very first time to be in a university. Very first time to be here in Rotterdam, at Erasmus, of course, but I haven't seen any university in my life. So I guess I'm sort of the self-made partner today in Deloitte Tax and Legal, and I've been really privileged. But it was quite a journey, and let me take you back to a couple of years ago, well, actually more than 30 years ago. I grew up in the east side of the country, and for those that are Dutch-speaking and have been here perhaps somewhat longer, if coming from abroad, that was the Achterhoek. So really close to the German border. And I grew up in a working-class family. My mother was a housewife, and my father worked 5 or 6 days per week. One brother, and my brother was not very good in school. He couldn't learn very well, whereas I was actually pretty okay. But my mother really wanted us to be the same, so she did not encourage me to really take the best out of myself. And above all, she also mentioned when I did say I wanted to go to university, "Oh girl, why do you want to do that? You will end up at home like I do with some kids." And that's when I first thought, no way, that's not gonna happen to me. So what I did at the age of 19, after completing my HAVO and a one-year education in tourism, I stepped on the train because I had seen an ad in the newspaper that the Carlton Hotel in Amsterdam was looking for a receptionist. So by the time I came to the temp agency Unique in the Ferdinand Bolstraat in Amsterdam, they said, "Well, really, truly sorry, but that job is gone." And I was like, okay, I've been traveling for 3 hours. No way that I'm going home empty-handed. So I asked them, what else do you have? But honestly, they didn't have a lot for me with my educational papers, hardly any diploma. So I could start working as a typist at the ABN AMRO Bank. And what I did actually, so 2 days later, I went to ABN AMRO Bank, at that time still ABN Bank. And I started typing bond notes. And I was working at a secretariat with a couple of colleagues who then at a certain point said, "We're going out for lunch. By now, you pick up the phone." And I was so nervous because I didn't even have the guts to pick up the phone. So much has changed in all these years. 20 years later, today, indeed, partner at Deloitte. Of course, that was quite a journey. And other than being a partner, of course, there's also a private life. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are students today, 23 and a 22-year-old boy and a 17-year-old girl. Really, really happy with them. I live in the area of Heemstede, and I've always worked actually in Amsterdam. Now, what is, I think, important for me to share with you today is what really took me to where I am today, because that has been a journey. And what has been really important for me is that I've taken the opportunity to have some coaching in my life. I did that around the age of 28, 29, again 38 something, 45 something. Today I'm 51. So it's not something that I do continuously, but it really has changed my life. It has taught me a lot about myself, but also about other people in my surroundings, in my working environment. And I think what has helped me in that is a couple of things. So what has explained my success to where I am today? First of all, equality. Equality is extremely important to me, and I think it's getting more and more important also in any working environment that you may end up in. And what does that mean? If I can give you an example, I used to work at ABN, as I mentioned, and later on to another bank, the predecessor actually of, well, it became ABN again. It was Mees Pierson, but pretty a good bank, I think, in the M&A section. And I was there with, I was a secretary at the time, and there was a courier who came to bring a package for one of the employees, one of the managers. But it had to be hand delivered, and he didn't want to come down, and I couldn't pick it up for him. So what I did is I took him upstairs to that department. We had some office garden there with about 50 employees, and he said, "That guy is not allowed to be here." And it got me so angry. And I told him, if you hadn't been so lazy to go down, if you had taken the effort, he wouldn't have been here. But don't ever do this to me again. And everyone was looking at, oh my God, what is she doing? But that was so important to me. And that's been important for the rest of my career as well. Me, without any diploma, always have felt equality as extremely important. As a professional, you may be my manager whatsoever, but as a human being, we are all the same, irrespective of gender, irrespective of cultural background or sexual preference. So I think that is really an important one. And I think along with that, be your true, authentic self. That's also really an important learning for me, especially at the age of 30, when I did some coaching. At that time, I was pretty insecure, to be honest, because I've always been working in an area with highly educated people, highly skilled migrants, as I call them in my profession. If they're coming from abroad, obviously. And it's hard if you're then in an environment where you want to be similar and you don't feel similar. But I really have learned where my strength is, also again through coaching. And that strength is maybe different from what someone else has. But by having that coaching, I've learned a lot, as I mentioned, not just about myself, but also about the people around me. So be your true, authentic self, I think, is the only way to get through it and to really get people to want to take you along. And your opinion, it may be different, but it's valued, it's important. Never stop growing is another motto of mine. Never stop growing as a professional, but probably even more important as an individual. And what does that mean? Take time in your professional education. That's really important. And you want to do that in an environment like that of Deloitte, for instance, where you get a lot of trainings, learnings offered, but also having that possibility to learn from other people in terms of coaching and also reflect and feedback. Absolutely important and has been crucial for my learning in the past decades. And then I think a bit different compared to what Patrick mentioned, there's no such thing as a bad choice. And if you take that with you all the time, it's going to be a lot easier to make choices because you will come at a point where you have to make choices. And that is not always easy. And you can, balance things, but never get to something and then perhaps stop making decisions. If you have the thought with you that you can change your choice every day, it will get a lot easier to make choices. And I really encourage you to do that. And most of all, and I think that's where Patrick and I absolutely agree, have fun. Enjoy what you're doing, even though that will also be parts that you won't like. But enjoy what you're doing and have fun together. There's always time for a laugh with your colleagues because they will like it as well. And I think what is really, for me, or what happened to me, let me see, yeah, that works. Those who don't jump will never fly. And I think that really applied to me as well. By making choices, by making that step, even though I could fall, I just did it. And I flew, because this is where I am today. And that is, I think, also the part of the journey that we want to offer for students like yourself. We have a 2-year top program, and that 2-year consists of 3 periods of 8 months. And in those 8 months, you will see various departments of our tax and legal practice in Deloitte. And during that first year, other than just the regular learning on the job, of course, you will also get a program that is really focused on your personal development. Personal development, including reflection, including self-insights, and also skills learning. And how do we do that? By having deep dives, by having skill days, but also by having one-on-one coaching. And in the second year, that will be around courage, collaboration, and making impact. And there we will have deep dive sessions on courage and growth, on purpose and on impact. And that total program, in the end, will really help you develop both professionally as well as individually. And I really hope that will be appealing to you. Thank you very much for your time, and hope to see you in person in future.
Thank you again, Marieke, for sharing your story with us. For now, I want to give the floor to our next speaker of the evening from our other main partner, PwC. He is also a partner within PwC, and here is Martin Bergers.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation to speak here tonight to you. Yeah, it's great to speak to you all. It's a bit different than I firstly expected. I hope you bear with me because it's the first time, I think since I'm 18, standing in front of a camera. So yeah, so bear with me, and I hope to take you a bit to my career and see where we're heading. When I saw the invitation, I was asked to give you a bit of guidance to help you make decisions in your career. So that's what I will try to do. And in the end, yeah, for me, I just connected the dots. But of course, I will end with that. Yeah, short agenda, of course. I'm an auditor, so I always like some structure in my life. So I first will do a short introduction, who I am, where I'm from, what was my journey, where do you start as a student, and how do you grow? Because, yeah, I think that's important as a person and as a professional. You have to grow. Yeah, looking at myself, Martin Bergers, I'm a partner in the Rotterdam office. I'm an audit partner already for more than 20 years with the firm. I started my career in the Utrecht office and with a transfer 6 years ago to Rotterdam, where I also went to university and I did my CPA in Amsterdam. Looking at my main clients, which I really enjoy serving clients as an auditor, is the real Rotterdam clients like the RET. I think you all be in one of their one of their buses or trams, of course. Feyenoord, APM Terminals, and of course, I do Nederlandse Loterij. Besides that, I'm a change partner in the Rotterdam office and lead a global project on that one. In private life, I'm happily married to Maartje and a proud father of Job and Lise, which you see on the picture, which is also one of my hobbies. I love to go skiing. And I love to play field hockey, although at my age, you see that the third half is getting more and more important on that one. Yeah, and my main reason why I'm still at the firm after more than 20 years is, of course, fun. I learn a lot, and I work in great teams with a lot of diversity. But I will touch base on that one. Already shared a bit with you my journey. My journey started, of course, many years ago, but my professional journey started, actually in 1999. I did an internship with the Euro 2000. That was the organization of the European Championship in the Netherlands and Belgium. I think most of you students don't remember that because that was probably before you were born. But yeah, that was the start of my career and I really enjoyed that. It was a project organization. A lot of young people were there included. So after that, I really didn't know what to do with my career. So I was referred by my father to a young partner in the Rotterdam office called Robert Zwaak. He's now the current CEO of ABN AMRO. So it's a circle, I guess. And I had a conversation with him about my career. Yeah, what to do and where to start. And at a certain moment he said, yeah, you can start as an auditor and see a lot of different companies and learn a lot. And after 2 or 3 years, if you don't like it, yeah, you go to one of the clients, what you like, and yeah, see what you do. Yeah, at the end, I'm still here and enjoying it. Of course, I spent some time in Utrecht. I did a global project in Toronto, Canada, and currently in Rotterdam. So as long as you really enjoy what you're doing, yeah, you're there. But getting back to the conversation with Robert Swaak, he taught me one very important lesson. And he said, yeah, it's very important to look at within your career every 2 or 3 years. See what you do. Do you like what you do? And do you still enjoy it? And do you want to do it for another 2 or 3 years? And if the answer is no, then you have to decide on something else. So that's what I did, and that's what I still do. And that really helps me in my career. Yeah, then a career. You're all at the beginning of it. Where to start? Yeah, a lot of questions to be asked. Yeah, big is beautiful. It's on the slide. Of course, you can start at a big company. Yeah, we as a firm are big. So you learn a lot. There are career paths on that one. So that really helps you through your career. Or do you like more a scale-up or startup, which really gets you in your creativity? And yeah, that really helps you on your entrepreneurship, I guess. So these are difficult choices to make. And that's really difficult if you're at the start of your career. So I can only advise you, talk to a lot of people on that one. Talk to our firm, talk to Deloitte, talk to small companies. I think these 2.5 weeks are great opportunities to do so. And also responsibility. That's always difficult, because what's responsibility? And what I often see when students come from university, they want to straight get some responsibility. But I think in your career, there's more than responsibility. I would say start with really learn, start growing as a person. Broaden your horizon. Don't focus just on one path. Make sure you learn and grow, because that really helps getting you there. And another big question is, where do you start? Do you make a choice for the money? Do you make the choice for learning? I never choose to get in for the money. I choose to grow and to learn. A lot of friends of mine went to big banks. And of course, when we started, there was a difference on that one. And that doesn't matter, because at a certain moment, when you're happy, when you have a lot of fun, you feel great. And then you're still at your company. Another thing, I think Kirsten already mentioned it, sustainability. What you see often is that students want to give something back, give something back to society. I think that's important. So make sure you incorporate that in your future job. You can do that at bigger companies, you can do that at smaller companies, but make sure you do that, because I think we owe that to our future generation, and to make it smaller to my kids as well. Yeah, how to grow. At a certain moment, I was asked also, did you experience any setbacks in your career? Now, I will explain a bit later that a career is not always a smooth path on that one. What we always say within the firm, within PwC, is that you can learn from your mistakes. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. And if you make one, don't make it on your own. Now, an example from where I learned, I think the most I was already 13 years with the firm. At a certain moment, you can be promoted to director and partner. So you have to make a presentation on that one. And you're really focused on your development, on your growth and everything. So I made a very good presentation, I thought, for that moment. And you have to present that to a panel of partners. So I was really well prepared. So I thought, this is what they want to hear. And I'm going to explain straight away why I'm becoming the next director and partner. So after that presentation, I got some feedback. And that was not the best feedback I had in time. They said I was politically correct. I didn't really assess myself as a person. I didn't learn. My business case was too high level and not focused enough. And they had doubts about me taking the next step. So that was a surprise to me. Uh, at that moment, I received the feedback. I was angry, frustrated, and disappointed in one. I never experienced that feeling, but yeah, then it became Christmas. You're talking about it with other people, and thinking about it. And in the end, they were right. I was not myself in that role. I was pretending to be somebody else. So I regrouped, really focused on assessing myself, had some coaching on that one, and really tried to focus on my development, my growth, and what can I add to the firm as a person and not as a professional. And that really helped me in my current and future profession as well. So the main lesson I learned is that feedback is great. And of course, from feedback you learn. But I recently read a book that was from Mark Lammers. He's a professional hockey coach. And he said, yeah, feedback is great, what I just mentioned, but he said feed forward is even better. And feed forward is focusing on what you can do better tomorrow. I think that's more positive. So I think about that when you go to your career and bring that to practice. Yeah, concluding, make sure you have fun and bring yourself to your career and learning agility, and then in the end it works out. And don't be afraid to take a wrong decision, because there are no wrong decision in your career. You learn from every step you take, and if you don't like it, you can always decide on something else. Yeah, concluding, looking back, what would I do different and how did I choose? Looking back at my career, it wasn't a direct goal to the top. I never had a strong focus, a steep path. I just took decision on my gut feeling and what I really enjoyed, and it was all about fun and learning environment. So I did a lot of different projects. I served a lot of different clients, and in the end, I just connected the dots and decided with my gut feeling and my heart. And I think that's the best advice I can give the students. Decide on your heart where you want to work. Well, yeah, I would like to thank you all for this opportunity, and good luck with your career.
Also, a huge thank you to Martin Berger for your inspiring words. And last but not least, I would like to give the word to Thomas and Lawrence, who together formed our supervisory board. In the name of EFR and STAR, they have guided and supported us over the past few months to make sure we could make this all happen. So here are Thomas and Lawrence.
Thank you, Kirsten. Hi, everyone. My name is Thomas Woemink, and this is Laurens van Oost, and we are the project manager career of the EFR and STAR. This means that in the past 6 months, we have had the privilege of supervising the Erasmus Recruitment Board 2022 on behalf of the two study associations between which the ERB operates. EFR, the Study Association of the Erasmus School of Economics, and STAR, the Study Association of the Rotterdam School of Management.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. And when we all started in August, the challenge ahead of us was clear and also a little frightening. Due to the pandemic, it was uncertain how the Erasmus Recruitment Days would take its form and how we would reach our students. Because we could not just copy and paste last year or even the year before, we actually are not sure the things that we do are right, but we do think that this is the best way to do so, just like in every new job. In this job, we were all new, so we all just had to figure out what was right.
However, really quickly, we saw that you guys owned your job. Everyone got an idea what was expected in his or her function, and now, more than 6 months since you have started, we are here at the opening of the Erasmus Recruitment Days 2022. You've all been very mature in your way of working, always ensuring that Erasmus Recruitment would succeed in the long term. You have taken important steps in becoming more sustainable, professional, and to create more real value to both students and companies. On behalf of EFR and the STAR Board, we would like to say that we are super proud of this Erasmus Recruitment Board.
Now let's address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, we cannot welcome you all here physically due to the extreme uncertainty that COVID has caused us. At the beginning of the Christmas holidays, we had to make one of the most difficult and impactful decisions of the whole preparation period of the ERD of 2022, to do the event fully online. It was something that none of us believed to be even possible when we started in August, back in lockdown. That afternoon, in our Christmas break, we stopped seeing the ever-changing corona measures as a restriction and started treating it as a challenge. A challenge that is so all-encompassing that it determines the whole organization process and nature of the event. Although the decision to move the ER days online was a huge setback, and the recent easing of restrictions gave another demotivation, we want to express how much respect we have for you all that you kept going and even worked harder to make another online ERDs the best one yet.
I can only say that we all admire your mindset and perseverance, and that we're proud of the hard work and results you delivered. Besides the hard work, you also had a lot of fun with each other. Within the board, there are quite some strong and various characters. Surprisingly, this matched very well in terms of keeping each other focused, at least most of the time. Hard work was intercepted by weekly dinners, the canvas reveal party, or hitting me in the head with a frisbee. It resulted in you becoming a very close team.
Yeah, we can only say that we do have a lot of respect for you guys, and we hope that you are going to enjoy every second of the coming 2.5 weeks, because now it is time to enjoy what the hard work has brought you. From this place, Thomas and I want to say a small word to you all, individually, because you deserve that for your hard work. And let's start with our beloved chair, Kirsten. As a chair, you had the noble task to keep the overview, keep everyone motivated and on the same page. We have a lot of respect for how you did your job for the past 6 months. You always made sure that everyone did their job, including us. You kept us both sharp.
It is because of you that the Erasmus Recruitment Board is integrated in both associations. Your enthusiasm, positive attitude, and straightforwardness created the best environment for both associations and yourself. With such a group full of varying personalities, wishes, and ideas, it can sometimes be difficult to make sure everyone is on the same wavelength. In this, you managed perfectly well, and that deserves a lot of respect. You made our job incredibly easy.
And then Johan, our event manager. You are the only one we have yet to find out if you actually did a good job. All jokes aside, the next 2.5 weeks are planned to the minute by you. You are in charge of everyone during the event. You sacrificed your whole Christmas break and have already been working extremely hard the past days. The fast-changing regulations have been a nightmare for you, but you have never complained about it and created an extremely detailed planning. Making sure more than 1,500 students are participating in a smooth event is a very difficult job to do, but you can be proud of yourself.
And then Yannick, as the IT and data officer, your position might have no direct task toward the ER days. However, your dedication and hard work directly contributed to the success of the Erasmus Recruitment Days. The last few weeks, you have worked really hard to get all details perfect on the website. Especially with an online ERD, your presence will be priceless. Only yesterday, I had to call you more than 14 times to get some IT thing right.
And then Roy, we all know that you were always there to bring the good mood and regularly reminded us that the nature of the event and organization of it is not only strictly formal, but also extremely fun. Besides that, you had a challenge to budget for several scenarios. Although it has taken some time to get a budget approved, you never complained about the changing scenarios. As a result, we have an up-to-date, detailed budget that we can fully trust for the next few weeks.
And then the commercials. Gina and Nacho. In an extremely short period of time, you managed to sign an incredible amount of companies. With your tireless, good-humored, and professional attitude through the phone, you brought in a record amount of participating companies again. You were the wolves of Woudesijn, persistently pitching the event, closing deals, and topping targets. When recruiters saw your number ringing on the telephone, they made sure that they cleared their schedule and listened to what you had to say. Well, most companies were responsive at least. Also, your reach targets were the main reason that champagne was regularly flowing freely in the office. Work hard, play hard. Even on the Thursday mornings, you conquered your hangover and picked up the phone to get some more companies on board.
And then last but not least, Mara. As the marketing manager, you had the difficult challenge of convincing students to sign up in ever-changing scenarios. Your ideas were creative and endless, from Formula One racing seats to VR Fruit Ninja simulators and poffertjes and stroopwafel stalls to attract students. Yes, you made sure that no student who has recently been to university could have missed us. Erasmus Recruitment dominated the campus. Increasingly strict regulations never set you back. You found creative ways to make sure students also knew Erasmus Recruitment back home. The result is a number of signups that you can be truly proud of. We are looking forward to a fantastic edition of the ERD 2022, and don't forget to enjoy it. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Thomas and Dorrance for your kind words. I think I can speak for everyone on the board when I say that we are extremely grateful to have had you by our sides. In your roles as supervisors, you were always so involved, considerate, and supportive. And I think it's safe to say that we could not have wished for a better team than you two to guide us through the journey of organizing this huge event. So dear Thomas and Lawrence, once again, thank you so much for your help the last few months. But mostly, thank you for your support and enthusiasm. You never missed a chance to keep us motivated and on track. So, as said before, the last few months we've worked incredibly hard to make this year's edition of the Erasmus Recruitment Days the best. And although not everything worked out the way we originally planned, I must say that I'm really proud of everyone who is and was involved in the process of organizing our event. Besides Thomas and Lawrence, the entire EFR and STAR board have supported us throughout this journey. The past few months, we have worked very closely with both boards as not only colleagues, but also as close friends. In the following weeks, they will dedicate all their time and effort to make sure the Erasmus Recruitment Days run smoothly. Additionally, I want to thank all the active committee members of EFR and STAR for the support during our promotion period. And lastly, I would like to thank our ER crew for helping us obtain so many subscriptions and helping us to handle the enormous logistics of this event. We've had the honor to organize this unique event, but I couldn't have done this alone. Therefore, I also want to thank the most important persons, my fellow board members. So first of all, Jona, I want to thank you for all the hard work you put into all the different scenarios we had to take into consideration, and for your endless amount of effort to map out all the details. I think nobody can comprehend the amount of detail that goes into organizing a 12-day-long event, but you did all of it so effortlessly. Also, I want to thank Yannick for not only taking on his own tasks and responsibilities, but also being there for everyone, every minute of the day. You helped everyone with their tasks and struggles without ever complaining. And then Mara. Not only your bubbly personality is something we have all enjoyed over the last year, but also I've seen you grow and love to see you gain understanding of the power you had as our marketing officer when we were found all over campus. And then Gina Nacho. I cannot say this enough, but you did such an amazing job this year by working so incredibly hard to stand where we are today. This year, we have so many amazing companies, and we could not have wished for a better team than you two, since you complement each other so well. And then, last but not least, Roy. Thank you for being the enthusiastic factor we sometimes needed. Not only have you gained so much understanding about everything that has to do with money, but also I've seen you gain confidence in your work. So that leaves me with thanking you for your presence and attention. I'm standing here on behalf of the Erasmus Recruitment Board, and we are very proud to be here and show you what we have accomplished over the last few months. So students and companies, we wish you all the best of luck during the Erasmus Recruitment Days 2022. And we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming weeks. Thank you.